Welcome. I am Dana P. Rowe, and I'm so delighted to be with you tonight. And good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. This is a very, very special night, and I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight. And because we are officially launching something near and dear to my heart, it's called AVA, Autistic Voiceover Artists. And whether you're curious about voiceover, already recording from your home studio, or cheering us on as an ally, you're in the right place. This is more than a launch, it's the beginning of something joyful, inclusive, and game changing. So let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from. We love seeing how wide our circle is already. Gosh, it's so good to see you all. I see people already coming in. I was wondering, I'm gonna make a confession. For almost 8 minutes now, or yeah, 7 minutes and change, I thought we were already on the air. But you know what? I forgot to hit a little button called Go Live. But you live, you learn, you get better at stuff. Anyway, I'm going to bring two very special ladies onto the stage right now. Miss Heidi Bauer Hackney and Miss Robin Brooke. And I'm just so, you know what? I'm just going to take a second and let you know that I absolutely love these two women. And I just think they're doing something incredible right now. And they are the founders of AVA. And Heidi has been a longtime coach pal. We have, we've done all the coaching things together, and Heidi is an autistic coach, and we'll learn more about that later. We've had a dry run. That's the joy of having gone on the air early. So, and then Robin, I've known for a while. We met each other back in the world of theater and, you know, amphitheater, outdoor drama. And I'm going to let them talk a little bit. Heidi, tell
Hi.
us, what are you here? What's going on with you? Why are you here? Why
Yeah.
Ava?
Yes. I'm here because
Welcome.
I wanted to do voiceover. I wanted more fun in my life. And I wanted to do voiceover. And that's what you were doing, Dana. You were doing audiobooks and posting about it. And so when I asked you, you said, "Oh, you need to meet my friend Robin and come to a webinar and learn more." And that's what I did. And was so impressed with Robin and her teaching, and she just drew me in. And so I signed up for the 1 hour with her so that she could type my voice. And she sent me scripts, and then I could practice a little bit. But then I worked with her for an hour as she listened to me do commercials and books and all kinds of things. Anyway, we had a lot of fun. And at the end, she said, "Well, how do you know Dana Rowe?" And when I told her that I am an autism coach and I coach autistic adults, she lit up and she told me about this dream. And I'm going to let her tell you about the dream, but it was really the seed for Ava. And the other reason I'm here, though, is that as I work with these adults who are trying to find meaningful work, and they're trying to move out from mom and dad, and they're trying to find some things to do that are for them, there's not a lot out there. They call it the cliff.
Mm.
They call it the cliff. And Robin and I are determined to make autistic voiceover artists a safe place to land.
Mm.
And
Very cool.
affordable and safe and fun and just for them. So that's why I'm here.
Ah, that's wonderful. And I just want to insert that, when you said, "Oh, voiceover sounds fun. Why are you doing that?" I said, "Well, I thought I had that in my back pocket my whole life. I did a lot of things and I was ready to pivot. And in that back pocket was the idea that, wow, I would love to narrate audiobooks. And when that really came to the forefront for me, the first person I contacted was Robin Brooke. And I said, "Robin, okay, this is crazy. I think this might be what I want to do." And that is who I talked to. and Robin and I have known for a while. And actually, today I'm like kicking out my one of my 11th or 12th book. Not that's not total, not counting pseudonyms and stuff like that. So listen, Robin. Now, so Heidi is my friend, and then I thought, well, why don't you talk to Robin? And then there you go. And I just Heidi, you came and you went, and maybe you got a little frozen there.
Yeah, I'm
Anyways,
trying to
Robin, take
unfreeze.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dana came to me. It seems like ages ago, but it's not, Dana. It's not that long ago when you first, I mean, you have cranked out a lot of audiobooks in I think a very short time. You did all the work. But what's interesting is I just drove from Florida to Virginia where I am now, and what did I listen to in the car? But the latest book out that Dana wrote narrated. So yeah. So I met Heidi in a voiceover class, and we had this conversation. And the dream that Heidi is talking about is for about, I think it was, I have no reference to time anymore. I think about 3 years, I was with a very large training and demo company that would train people how to do voiceover, and then you make your demos that you use to show what you sound like, what you can do. And in these classes, they're live classes. I flew all over the country. I traveled. It didn't matter if I was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Manhattan, Florida, North Carolina. It didn't matter where I was. What I noticed was a very large amount, and I would talk to people after the class, and we would do evaluations like what Heidi was talking about, where I would listen to them read and discuss what were their goals were, what they wanted to do, what area of voiceover they wanted to be in. And there were so many autistic students that came to these classes, and I knew, and they were of an age that they were what Heidi was talking about at the cliff. And so thing, and voiceover was something they were passionate about. They really wanted to do it, but they weren't finding programs that were. And I knew that the program I was working with would not have been a good fit for some of the people that I was talking to. And so I decided to look for a couple of people that I had spoken to. I thought, well, I'm going to find something for them. And when I looked, there were no programs. There were no programs, and I couldn't believe it. And so I had this thing in my head about there needs to be something. And then I met Heidi, because I'm not the organizer person. I'm the artist. I'm the idea, and I'm the voiceover person. And I needed that person that would be sort of the business person. And when I met Heidi, with her background in autism, her desire to do this, and her skills and my skills combined, it was like, boom, and here we are. AVA was born.
Isn't that amazing? And like I said, you're the first person I came to because I realized, I think Heidi got frozen and is coming back. I think she's on her way back. I am holding space for Heidi to return. I just know she will. And so I think somebody just popped in, but not quite there yet. Anyway, because you and I met doing theater, and you were Annie in Annie Get Your Gun.
I was.
In 1989.
No,
I should not have said the year. I'm sorry. A guy doesn't do that to a lady. But anyways,
it was actually 88. Yeah.
It was 88. Oh, and I was the musical director, and you were Annie, and you rode in on a horse. It was
on a white
amphitheater.
It was
It was gorgeous. It was such a cool entrance.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the entrance. And on days when it would rain, that we still plugged around in the mud doing that show. I remember that.
What you do for love.
What do you
Listen,
do?
I just found, okay, everybody, you have to forgive me. I just found the chat. We have Nick makes up something. Nick, good evening, Nick. And Frauditor Comedy Show from Nevada. We and Nick is from Greenville, South Carolina, or is that Greenville? See, I don't know. My people, where they're from, and they would have said probably Greenville, but it's
Greenville.
Okay.
Mm.
Nottingham, UK. Welcome. Pavithra, is that how we say that? Oh,
Mhm.
what a
Pavithra.
lovely name. And then we have the amazing Owen from Iowa, and Dr. Erica is here. Hello, Dr. Erica. She's one of our board members. And
We
speaking
probably
of
have David.
and
Yeah.
you know what? I was just going to say, speaking of board members, we have a very special guy, David. Come on down. Hello,
Come in.
David. How are you?
I'm
And you know,
doing great.
Heidi's back too. Let's just
All
all
right.
come in there
There
and
you
say
go.
hello.
Hollywood Squares. Here we go.
Yay. And listen, David, tell us a little bit about what got you involved and why you were part of AVA.
Sure. I'm David. I am autistic, ADHD, and a half dozen other things besides. Did not know any of that until my early 50s. So spent a lot of time trying to figure out who I am and how I fit in the world. And once I started to figure out who I am, I started trying to become an advocate, trying to help other people figure out who they are, trying to help other people navigate, especially in the business world, you know, how to navigate the business world as an autistic person. So I've been posting a lot on LinkedIn. I got my own site. I've been trying to speak up and connect. And Heidi reached out to me, complete stranger, reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're doing this thing called AVA, and we want some autistic people on the board for representation." And my first thought was, no, absolutely not. You're a complete stranger. I don't join organizations. I'm pretty sure this is a scam somehow. At some point, I want to end up writing you a check. And no, not interested at all. But met with Heidi and realized that she is the real deal, and AVA is the real deal. And I've been trying to attend as many of our live classes as I can so far. And not only am I learning a lot, because I know nothing about voiceover, but I'm seeing a community start to come together. I'm seeing people start to help each other. I'm seeing people start to encourage each other. And that's just huge for me. Learning after I figured out that I was autistic, connecting to the autistic community was probably the thing that helped me more than anything else in the world, realizing that I'm not alone, realizing there are other people going through the stuff that I'm going through. So I'm really happy to be part of AVA, to be on the board and represent autistic people and be sure that everything, you know, be sure we've got a voice in everything. But we're also recording, Heidi and Jackie and I are also recording a lot of bonus content for the site that's not so much about voiceover as it is autism support resources. In fact, we're going to record a couple of videos tomorrow. One of them is going to be, how do I know if I'm autistic? One of them is going to be, do I need a diagnosis? And what's that process like? So it's a great fit. Everyone on the board is really passionate about this. You know, we talk about autism and autistic voiceover artists. You know, I just want to let everybody know we're not going to check your diagnosis at the door. If you're not autistic, or if you're not sure that you're autistic, or you have some other condition, if what we're doing helps you, please come in, join the community, and be part of what we're doing here. And I haven't seen an info dump like most autistic people do. I'll talk for the next 55 minutes.
Well, I always love hearing you talk, David, and it's wonderful. And actually, you hit on something that really makes me think maybe we should move over to, let's talk about what AVA offers. You said the weekly classes. I know Robin has been, well, I know that she's going to continue. There are some free public classes, but then the membership gets special live classes as well. So we have live classes. You touched on multi-genre training. Didn't you just tell us a little bit? Didn't you just go to an audiobook thing that Robin did last weekend, David?
Yeah. Learned a lot. I'm working on writing a book or two, so it's been bumping around the back of my head. If this is an audiobook, who's gonna narrate it? I feel like I should do that because I'm the author, but
you know, that's my preference.
I like talking to people, so
I love hearing the author read their book. You
Yep.
know,
Me
that
too.
in fact, as much as I love narrating audiobooks, I just love it when I hear, especially nonfiction works. I mean, the author read their own stuff.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we have that, and then you touched on bonus materials. Would somebody here, maybe Heidi or Robin, want to talk a little bit about bonus materials? Or
Well, bonus
Heidi?
material is the autism materials.
okay,
So we really are an online training for voiceover for people with autism. So our bonus material are topics like David said, autism at work. What's the difference between therapy and coaching? Do I need a diagnosis? If so, what will a diagnosis do for me or not do for me? So just various topics that might supplement and help people as they're learning the voiceover craft.
Oh, that's fantastic. Also, I know that you, especially you and Robin, and is it Jackie as well? A lot of who's been the busy bees doing? I know you've been uploading to the library. Oh my goodness,
Robin.
it's so
Robin is she
thrilling.
is like
It's
beyond human, like Energizer Rabbit. You should see the beautiful content that she has put together. Now I'm behind the
Mackenzie, we're
scenes.
live.
I'm uploading it, but I'm just the mechanic behind the scenes. She's the star.
There's
that's
well,
right.
there's a lot more to go in, but I do want to touch on the voiceover mindset for success category too in the library, because I don't think it's something, and the large company that I was with, I would always go to them and say, I'm seeing people come into this program and they are so pumped. And then I see them a year later and they're fizzled. And I think that the mindset and all of the things that go to help us persist and work on stuff is so important, and it's not offered in so many programs. A few have started to do it, but that's in there as well.
Well, and also that's something that you and I have always had in common. It's that whole thing about, it's one thing to have the skills and the training, the opportunity to learn, but if your mindset isn't in the game, if your head isn't in the game, as they say, you can feel defeated. So that's fantastic. There's Heidi. Hi, Heidi. We got, listen, it told me I'm learning so much tonight. It told me that you are still here with us in voice only. But that's fine. That's all good. That's all well and good. Hi to the people, new people. Yeah, new people hopping on. You think it's like computer resources, David? Or
no, I'm saying before we leave the this discussion of resources, I just wanted to point out one other thing. Tomorrow there is the live class in voiceover for animation.
Yes.
And Saturday there's a workshop. Sample scripts, come in, read, get some feedback.
That's the cool thing, right?
Get your hands dirty. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to is. Don't get me wrong, the classes are great. I've really enjoyed hearing Robin talk about all these things, but I'm looking forward to that. Okay, open mic, so
and trying it out, right?
Yeah,
do some skill building.
I would say that so tomorrow night at 7 Eastern is the voiceover for animation class for people who are in the program for members. And Saturday at 1 p.m. is the workshop, the practice session with feedback that David's talking about. It's not mandatory that you go to the first class tomorrow night, but I want to tell you, it is going to be so hugely helpful if you can do both. So helpful.
I'm going to put this in chat. Let's see if this works. Does everybody get that? That's the Wednesday evening.
Yep. Yeah, but it's for
tomorrow.
VO for animation. Yeah. I don't know if the link works. Will somebody let me know if that link works?
That is for that is for members, Dana, who are in.
Let's take that out. Yeah. Oh, let's even make it bigger. Okay.
There you go.
Well, I just messed up, didn't I? Okay. Well, welcome. Like I said, I've
Nick,
learned.
Robin, hey, Robin, does he have the what do you call
Oh, golly.
monopoly on messing up today? No.
Oh no, no, we've all messed up today.
Oh, golly. Welcome. This, and if this is the last time, we'll all be very lucky. So that's
But
all I
can
can
I-
say.
Can I
So
take a
Nick has
moment?
mentioned in the chat that he has to work during that class. Is that class going to be recorded? There is a recorded version of the
That
voiceover
class
for
is
animation.
recorded. Yes,
Okay.
if you are a member, and you want to come to Saturday's class, but you're like, oh, I can't see the one tomorrow night. It is in the library. It is recorded. It is in totality in there. Yes.
Yeah.
So you can
Okay.
do
So
that.
members
Don't
will
panic.
always be able to access it.
Yeah.
That's a really important point. And I
Yep.
just want to go down here. That's not all that's going on. So tomorrow night's voiceover for animation, which if anyone knows about that, Robin knows about that. You've done your share of animation and voices. And then there's animation practice, skill building with feedback on Saturday. Then there's Wednesday 4:30. That's April 30th. Analyzing commercial scripts. That's analyzing commercial scripts. And then Saturday, May 3rd, audition tips and tricks. Tuesday, May 6th. I'm having trouble with the 5 and the 4. Did you get that? Tuesday, May 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern, creating characters with feedback. Again, another skill building opportunity. Saturday, May 10th, demos and agents. And then Wednesday, oh my gosh, the list goes on. I could go on here all night. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 additional scheduled classes. And if that isn't exciting, I don't know what is. So there's that. And we have that. There's an on-demand video library where all the classes are in digestible chunks, digestible chunks as well. So it's all, I'm just so excited about what Robin and Heidi and everyone has been preparing for everybody. So let's move on there. Yeah, go ahead. It looked like we have a couple hands. Hop in, do it.
I'm going to shift the subject a second because I really wanted to bounce on something that David said earlier. And I know myself, and I'm a tangenter. I go off into different worlds and I'll forget. And that is when David was talking about if you're not diagnosed. One thing that started happening when we first started the free classes, I think at the end of October, we first started free classes, is that so many people reached out saying, can I come? I'm not autistic. I'm ADHD. I'm PTSD. I have a traumatic brain injury. So, the whole point of doing the autistic voiceover artists was to be inclusive and to make it so that people that, weren't comfortable in another environment had a place. So you're welcome. You are welcome. I just want to say that because I have people emailing me and asking permission, and I just want to get it out there that especially any form of neurodivergence, you are more than welcome. So I'll just, you don't have to write and ask permission on that. I want
to piggyback on that too, Robin, and talk about another resource that we're offering that's just as important as the content, and that is community.
Mm.
And within our platform, members are going to be able to talk with each other and talk with Robin and I as we're able to pop into those conversations. And we've seen that already in these webinars that Robin has been giving. Can I tell the story, Robin? The story about the guy.
David was in that class too. David was in that class.
You know the story, But listen. So this guy, he's off camera, and first he puts it in chat, but then he says it on mic to the whole class. He says, "I was always told I was too loud. My voice is too loud. So I'm not ever going to be able to do this. And when I was a child, in school, I would always get in trouble because I was loud, and the teacher would put me out in the hallway by myself. And before Robin or I could say anything, the rest of the participants jumped in and they said, dude, you've got a great voice. Like, you're fine. You can do this. And then his camera came on and he and Robin had this conversation, and it was just such a beautiful thing because it was what we had dreamed AVA could be. Like, it could be this community where people support each other, and we watched it right before our eyes.
That's exciting, isn't it? There's nothing quite as fulfilling and gratifying as that, as seeing people come together for each other.
Yes.
Well, speaking of that, are there, I know that there are some really interesting already success stories. That do any of you want to share some of those with us? One or two, or?
Well, I could share.
And we can keep it. We want to keep it. You know, we want to respect the anonymity and, you know, of the people involved. So, you know, however best you can share that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was figuring how to go this way with stories. So I had someone reach out to me who had come. Actually, his mom reached out. She had brought her son to one of the classes. So she came and checked us out. She had gone to one or two other classes and said, "Not this. I think this is where we want to be." And he has health issues along with the autism. And so she said he really wants to do voiceover. He's doing acting classes. He really wants to do this. So I started working with them privately, and we discussed that the best fit was kind of to make our own project for him. And he was interested in doing children's books. So he had a dream of something that meant a lot to him. And I took that dream and I wrote a children's book quickly. You know, it's not that long. And I sent it to them. And so what we spent a couple of weeks doing was sending it back and forth, and they would make changes, or he would name characters, his friend's name. And his mom is a professional in, I guess, healthcare. And she knew a lot medically that she added to the story about autism that would be great for both autistic and non-autistic as a learning book. So it became this beautiful thing. I have been coaching him on this. We have been practicing the whole book, and we are ready to start recording. It will be next week to have a children's book that can actually be put out there. It will be his first project. It will be the first official AVA project. But I think the thing is that, you know, there are so many different things that we can do as we go along, from the classes to work on projects. And everybody, whether autistic or not, has different strengths and different weaknesses. So we find what that is, you know, for each person coming in. And we want you guys to help us by saying, we wish there was more of this, or this is my favorite thing, so that we can cater these classes to be a good fit for everybody.
Right. It's sort of like we really finding that's the thrilling thing too. And we've figured this out together as a board as we were getting ready to launch AVA. And by the way, it's just so lovely to see the people you know, here and who are offering comments. And that's the thing is that's so brilliant, is that, you know, AVA is learning what AVA will be, you know.
Yeah.
And you mentioned projects, and one of the things that we're thrilled about too is very, you know, custom specialized AVA projects using AVA students that we can put out there, books that, you know, audiobooks we can put out there, animations that we can put out there, special projects that feature our students, right? And so that's really exciting. And what a wonderful creative idea and solution for that particular person.
Just
So
to expand on what.
Go ahead, David.
Give a shout out to Dr. Erica, another board member. She's in the audience. Hey, Dr. Erica.
Oh,
thanks for being here tonight.
oh yes, indeed. Yes. Please chime in. Let us know. I see the hello team from Dr. Erica, and David, you were going to say something. What's that?
Well, just to expand on what you're saying there, Dana, and Robin. Tell us what you want to learn about so we can tailor the classes to that. The response to the audio book class was overwhelming, so I'm think it's safe to assume we'll be doing a lot more of that.
Yes.
But that also applies to the autism resources. I'm autistic. Heidi and Jackie are both autism coaches. We know what we want to talk about. We know what we think would be helpful. But let us know what you need to hear, where you're struggling, what you want to learn a little bit more about. And help us bring that information to you. So we want this, at least I want this to be a community. I want it to be interactive. I want to meet people where they are, but I need you to help me figure out where you are so I can meet you there.
That's fantastic. And I'm going to put the link there at the bottom. In case you don't know, you can always go here. I'm just going to a little public service announcement. I'll pop that in every now and then. And so if what you're hearing resonates with you tonight, and we'd love for you to explore more with us. You can head over to autisticvoiceoverartist.org, where you can register for upcoming free classes, sign up for the newsletter, which is beautiful. Lizzie is working on that. Lizzie and Jackie are working on the newsletter, and I just love getting it in my email box, and it's always so beautifully done. Brava to those people. And Robin, thank you. Yes, Robin.
I just want to say, because I think this is a great success story, that Lizzie first came to me for coaching in audiobooks, and she has her first book has just come out on Audible, and we are not a year into this. I mean, her first book just came out on Audible. I so enjoyed working with her. We just sort of hit it off, and we actually invited Lizzie to be on our board. And so that's when Dana's talking about Lizzie, she has been, along with Erica, working on the newsletters, and I think Jackie and David probably
That's
too.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody. And so those newsletters are, everything that Ava's doing, but also things for you guys, like tips and tricks and Mythbusters and things like that. So
chock full of information.
Yeah. So I just wanted to tell Lizzie's story as well, that, she has, her first book is out, and she is a board member with us.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Oh, thank you, Valerie, for what for chiming in there. And then we have Nick again. Thank you. How exciting, all of you! Thank you for being here. And so, yeah, no pressure, no sales pitch. The door is just open for you. You're always welcome at any time. What I would love to do in these last few minutes here together. First of all, of course, anything that comes up for you, Heidi, Robin, or David. Pop in there, but I would love to open it up. Do we have any questions here from the people who are in our studio audience? I always wanted to say that. I got to say studio audience. How cool is that? Do we have any questions about what's going on about AVA? And anything we can answer for you.
And while we're waiting for those questions, I have another small world. Well, we have a couple of small world stories.
Oh, please share.
Dr. Erica, I found her on LinkedIn. She's local to me. We had the same profession or similar profession, same industry. And so that's why I reached out to her. Then she said, Robin was my first VO coach. It was just a full circle moment. Yeah. And another small world story. I found this person on LinkedIn, and she had a very unique last name. And I thought, I think I know her parents. So I reached out to her, and I said, I think I know your parents. And then so we connected, and then a week or two later she said, "Oh my gosh, Heidi, I Googled you after you connected with me. Both of my brothers are autistic. It's amazing what you're doing. Can we meet? I want to talk to you." And so she is not the person I thought she was. I do not know her parents. But anyway, it was just one of those meant to be happenings, right? And so she's coming along. Her brother's already a member of AVA. She wants to volunteer. And I just love that about this community, the autism community. It's very friendly, and it's just, everybody is just looking for the good and looking for positive things. And it's great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. I had here a bunch of questions that we had. Let's see here. But I'm finding, one of the things here is I have too many things on my screen, kids. So give me just a minute, just a second
Okay.
to find them, because I had them just in case. And I know we wanted to address them. There's that. Okay, good. We're going to put this, and one moment, please hold. And
well, questions that Robin and I get. Well, a big one is, do I have to have an official diagnosis? That's a big one that we get. And no, we're not looking for a medical note or anything like that.
Here we go.
Yeah, you got them.
I got them. So,
okay.
And we can just touch on a few of these, but I thought, these are things that come up, right? And so okay. And Robin, you might want to speak to this, and, we'll keep it with brief over, high level answers. How are the live classes structured in general?
So the live classes are primarily, it just depends on if you're talking lesson style classes, but it's a lesson style class. Sometimes, depending on the size of the class, we'll stop as we go along with questions. If it's a larger class, I hold until the end so that there's nothing left unanswered. I will hold at the end, and you can ask any questions that you want. And half the time people say, well, now that I've waited till the end, you answered it as you went along. There are live classes that are more, I call them practice sessions, but what did you call them, David?
Sandbox,
skill building, sandbox. I love that term there.
Sandbox.
Getting in there and playing with it. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, digging in and playing. And these are classes that, there's actually going to be scripts that we're going to work on. And sometimes they're based on the lesson class. It's going to help you out. And as I said, it's not mandatory that you take the lesson class, but it will be very helpful to you. If you're a person that is not comfortable, don't feel that you're going to get called on. If you're a person that likes to have your camera off, I know I am.
That was the next question.
Yeah, you don't have to have your camera on. And I think as we go along and as we get busier in the classes, we're going to put something in the registration or have something somewhere where you say, I want to be called on. I want to participate in this class, because this will let me know how many scripts do I need to have for this class. But one thing I like to do is actually put those slide so that we can all see that. I don't want just someone, I don't want to just mail it to someone. So
cool.
Will be lesson, some will be the practice live on your feet, and then there are what I call the workshops. They're a combination of both.
Well, okay, that's fantastic. That gives us a good feel for the kinds of ways the classes are structured. So they vary, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Now,
and there's also a full library of recorded content as well.
Right. So you can go at your own speed.
If you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
If you're more comfortable with that, if you want to do 10 minutes now, go take a break, come back and do 10 minutes later.
Right.
you want to binge and do 12 hours of class in one sitting, that all of that flexibility is baked into the program.
There is a word for that. I think it's called asynchronous learning. Is that what it's called?
That
Isn't
is.
that cool? I
Good
can't re
job,
Yeah,
Dana.
thank you. I remembered that. Hey,
The corporate
Nick,
trainer in
I
me
just
is
want to
like,
address
all right, yeah.
thank you. High fives. Nick just put in the question, what kinds of classes do you all offer in the program? And I just want to touch on these are the live classes coming up. I'm just going to touch on them. Audiobooks, audiobook practice, auditioning, part 1 and part 2, movie trailers, practice and feedback, setting up your recording space. That's a big one. That was one thing too.
That's a
What equipment?
Q&A,
Yeah,
Dana.
yeah.
That's a Q&A. That means
Oh,
if you
setting
guys
up your
come to
recording
that,
space, Q&A. It
that
does
is
say
a
that.
Q&A. And so that means that, it's hard to teach set up your recording space because everyone has a different space. So it's a Q&A.
Right.
So
right.
you ask for your space, and then anyone else that has a space like you or has a different, it'll kind of cover everybody in the room. So that one's a Q&A.
That's very important. Thanks for pointing that out. So demos and agents is another class. Creating characters with feedback, audition tips and tricks again, analyzing commercial scripts, animation practice, and VO for animation. I went backwards in case you couldn't tell, but those are just the ones. Those are the membership classes coming up in the next month or so, 2 months. Then Valerie said, do you have recommendations for headphones, brands, specs? Thank you. Now, I would think that Q&A class is the place to come for that, right, Robin?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Or the free voiceover 101.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
voiceover 101 class.
Yeah,
and we go over all of that.
That's correct. And there's a
voiceover 101 class coming up on May 12th. I'm not sure of the time on that, but you can find that information. It is on the website.
Okay, and that is the free for that is not a membership only class.
You don't need to be a member. Yes, you don't need to be a member. But you do have to register for it on the website.
Thank you. Yeah, and that registration, people, friends, that is so easy to do. You just go in, you sign up, and then you will be sent the link so that you can join the Zoom class. And but you do need to register. We that for your feeling of safety. We want to create always a safe space for any of our people to come and be there.
So Robin, just to
go ahead, David. Yeah.
Robin, just to follow up on that for a second, the voiceover 101, the free classes, you touch on equipment.
Yes.
Across the board. Is there something in the member area? Is that voiceover 101 class in the member area as well? Or is there something in the member area about equipment?
It is in the members area.
Okay.
And the way I did it was, it is the same class that I do in the class. It's CNET, but in the recorded version, I break it into pieces. So if you only want to see about the equipment, you can go directly to the equipment video. You can go directly to the many genres. So it's broken up into pieces.
Okay.
So
there's
you
a
can
good one for you, Valerie. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, and
make sure Valerie feels like she's had her question answered there. It's not something we can discuss right this second, but that information is available in a lot of places, and I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'll volunteer Robin. Send Robin an email. She'll tell you all about it.
Well, no, I don't have time to answer all that.
I know.
You could go to the free class and get all of that. Yeah, it's easier for me to balance.
Yeah, it's really that's the way this was all put together too. There's a method to this over seemingly madness. Perhaps if it's all new to you, is that there are non-member or public classes every month that people are welcome to come to, and those are really good, and they're full of value, full of information, full of get started and take stuff away with you right away. And then there are member only classes that go a little deeper, a little more broken down. I would say it's a deeper dive, right, Robin?
Oh yeah.
The free classes are leaning more towards the VO 101, the voiceover 101. And as we get into all of the other stuff, that is more within the membership.
And
the newsletter.
Okay, sorry.
The newsletter, you don't need to be a member to register to get the newsletter. Anybody can get the newsletter, and you will learn a lot in the newsletter too. There's blogs and tips and tricks and things like that as well.
And Heidi, you were going to say something.
Well, I just wanted to brag on the content, the variety of content that is asynchronous. Robin has a whole section on how to turn your closet into a studio, like step by step. Yeah. How to,
and the cheap way
inside you. Yeah.
What was that? Sorry, we got it. Two people speaking. Hello.
Sorry, Heidi. I was going to say it goes through everything, the materials that you would get mostly, but it's up to you whether you want to go the moving blanket way or this way, or the like all out like hardcore, I am spending money on this. So it covers everything, but no matter what you choose to do, or if you don't choose to, you will learn so much, and it won't be this mystery world of how do I make my space, absorbing sound or soundproof. Yeah.
Fantastic. Are there any, go ahead and pop into chat if you do have any more questions.
I have another question about, do we do theater?
Oh, yes.
We don't do theater. However, Robin is a trained theater actor, and she brings that to her voiceover training.
Right. And that's how Robin and I met. For the people who weren't here at the beginning, and Heidi, you are still with us in audio. Oh, there you are. But Robin and I met doing theater. I was the musical director, and Robin was Annie. And Annie, Get Your Gun, back in a while back in the late 80s, right? Yeah, that's how we met. And so I did theater all my life, and Robin did theater all her life. And then we sort of re-met in the world of voiceover. And now with AVA.
And I would say that theater background for me is, I think, why I get the work that I do, and it is what I bring to all of the classes. Even if you have no acting experience, one of my strengths is showing you that you have it in you, even if you think you don't. Because what we do as voiceover talents is we don't read words, we bring them to life. So I think that I try to take the theater training that applies to the microphone. And there is a class called Acting for the Mic that I sometimes do in the free classes. And that is, it talks about exactly that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm it's about time for us to start wrapping up. And by that, I mean, we're going to just begin to wrap up here. One last question that I thought was kind of interesting and really good. It said, I'm interested, but a little overwhelmed. Where do I start? And if there was a 2-sentence, because we don't want to add to the overwhelm, if there's a 2-sentence answer for that, why don't we all share that? Go ahead. Heidi, do you have a thought there?
Usually when people are overwhelmed, oh my gosh.
You're here. We hear you. We hear you.
Breaking down all the information into bits and pieces, right? And so I would say start at the AVA website. Start there. Start with VoiceOver 101.
Right. Which is available in the library for members.
Well, it's for free.
Free class.
That's what
it's a free class. Well, hello. Yeah, that's a no-brainer, right? Okay, good deal.
That's a good starting point.
That's really good. And that brings up another thought around the membership. And there's a reason that we have it as a monthly, and we also have the yearly option for membership, right? And a lot of our friends took advantage of the early bird special last month, but you can join per month, and it is not there's no what do they call that, you don't get charged extra by the month. You can do it month by month, so you can decide whether this is for you or not, and you can also get a good deal on a yearly thing. Thank you, Heidi. Okay, so that's started Voiceover 101, which is a free class in the library. David, what would you say as far as
I would come at it from a slightly different angle, which is kind of what I do. The bulk of the people on this call, the bulk of the people who are going to attend classes, we're all, I hate the term neurodivergent, but there it is. We're all not quite what most people would consider normal. I hate the word normal. We'll do a whole video on that too. We process information differently than other people do. And yeah, we get overwhelmed with stuff. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, step one is to not beat yourself up for being overwhelmed, not judge yourself. Everybody else, this is easy for everybody else. Why can't I do this? Step one, take a step back. You're going to get overwhelmed. That's how our brains work. And then start breaking it down to smaller chunks, and then go to Voiceover 101 and watch it in 5-minute blocks or 10-minute blocks or whatever works for you. You know, that we're giving you the tools, but I think the first step before you can even start picking up those tools is to give yourself a little grace and a little forgiveness and say, this is what I need. I need it in small chunks. So that's what I'm going to do.
Wonderful. Thank you, David. And Robin, what is your 1 or 2 sentence answer for that?
He had to say that 1 and 2 sentence because he knows how I am.
That's part of why we love you, though, Robin. Just so you know.
And I'm certainly not normal.
Can I slide in? I'm just going to put a little thing in there. Something that David said is, and it reminds me of a phrase that a friend of mine used to say, we're all in here because we're not all there. So take it away, Robin.
First of all, I designed the program, and I designed it with this in mind. And that is the importance of the video library, because you can kind of come in and you can look at all of the titles and you can say, I'm in the mood for this, but you're not going to get stuck in a 2-hour class because I've broken it down. Even the classes that maybe you've already attended with me, maybe the voiceover for animation, which was like the audiobook when it was popular, that was, I think, 1 hour and 10 minutes. That class in the video library is broken into what, Heidi? Maybe 8 separate videos, and they're titled. So you will know exactly. So if you come and say, I've only got this much in me, I want to dabble here. You can do that. It's up to you how much you want to continue. The live classes, the schedule is out. You can choose which ones you want to go to, and some of them are mirrored in the video library. When you do them live, you'll get questions that will make the classes go here and there. But it's up to you. If you're in the mood to say, oh, no, I'm going to sit here in my pajamas and eat a bag of M&Ms and watch the video one, or I'm going to do a live class in my pajamas with my M&Ms and watch the video one. It's whatever you want to do. So it's kind of designed for you to move at your own pace. It doesn't leave without you. It's always there for you to come and go.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Robin. And thank you all for being here today. So what we're learning is that AVA is about so much more than voiceover. It's about expression, belonging, and creating a space where people shine just as they are. If you're autistic or neurodivergent and dreaming of using your voice, we're holding the light for you. Thanks for being part of this first step with us. We can't wait to see what you create. Grooving on the music.
Where every voice finds a stage.
Indeed.